All right, my workout buddy Shane. Studies show one of the best things people can do to get fit is some form of strength training, especially middle age and beyond. Feeling the burn doesn't have to mean burning out. Muscle soreness, especially if you haven't worked out in a while, is normal, but if you do too much, you might need to take a break, and for many people, that means giving up. Our next guest wants to help you push the reset button and ease your way into your fitness routine. Clinical pharmacist and nutritionist Jim LaValle is also the Chief Science Officer at Lifetime Fitness. Ready, sweat, go, Jim. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing well. All right. Just to let people know
Hopefully
that
not sore.
No, I'm not sore because I know what to do. But just to let people know that you kind of know what you're doing. You work with Olympians and pro athletes like the Astros, the New England Patriots. You're the former clinical director for Pro Football Hall of Fame Health and Performance Program. And what you know is that what's good for pro athletes is also good for us. Of course, it's got to be routine level appropriate. Let's start with resistance training. I had a woman say to me the other day, she goes, I would do what you're doing, but I don't want to look like, Mr. Olympia. Guess what? You're not unless you're doing a little something else.
No, that's exactly right. Resistance training is essential. If you're a woman, you need to do resistance training for bone density. Same thing for men, because more and more cases of osteoporosis are men. Resistance training should be a part of what you're doing, but you do have to get that cardio in to go with it. Both of them have value. Only 1 in 5 Americans exercise regularly. And then many people do quit after that New Year's resolution, right? They get too sore, they try something too aggressive, and it kind of stalemates the benefit of that New Year's resolution. We want people creating a lifetime resolution of being active, being healthy, working out.
Yeah, and it's interesting because a lot of us will run for a bottle with a pill in it and go, I'm going to take this vitamin, I'm going to take this pill, I'm going to take that. When really, if you just do what you're talking about, resistance training, some of the other benefits, improving the immune system and reducing inflammation. All right, some of the common mistakes people do, we see it all the time, especially if you haven't worked out in a while. You hit the gym and you just go to town. The weights are too heavy for some, and maybe you've done too many reps. I know I've done that before. So especially if you haven't exercised in a while, the cramping and soreness discourages you. But we got to start slow. One of the first things to do is just warm up your muscles. Get on that treadmill. Do that cardio you talked about.
Yeah, it's great to maybe even use a foam roller, roll out, get a massage gun, warm those muscles up. I mean, there are nutrients that can be valuable, and a new clinical study showing that aged garlic extract, for example, helped middle-aged endurance athletes to overcome their muscle fatigue, improve their oxygenation in their tissues, which made, obviously, their ability to recover and perform better actually improve.
Yeah.
So there are some things where nutrients are important, but you got to hydrate. You got to get good sleep. You got to be able to roll on that roller a little bit and warm up, just like you said.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive, but sometimes people say, okay, you exercise, but you need to get good sleep. I sleep better if I exercise.
Yeah, you're helping to get that diurnal pattern of your stress hormones under control. It's going to help you to sleep better at night. There's a reason why watches are now telling us it's time to sleep and measuring our heart rate variability and telling us it's time to take a deep breath. It's because people aren't doing it, right? So, we got to have this watch tell us it's time to take a deep breath. And I think that's really important. And look, people are on medications that could alter things like their microbiome. So probiotics can be incredibly valuable for people that are on medications that alter their microbiome, because beneficial flora actually helps with recovery from exercise. Sounds weird.
Yeah.
But your immune system's in the gut, and it really can help manage that inflammation signaling that you mentioned earlier.
And I'm glad that you're bringing up these specific things, because again, we'll go for a bottle not really knowing what's in it, but you're giving us the science behind this. Plant sterols and sterolins.
Yeah, plant sterols and sterolins, otherwise known as Moducare, really interesting plant fat that they gave to endurance runners who actually would get sick after they worked out. And that's what happens with a lot of people. They start to work out hard, and then all of a sudden they catch a cold or flu, and then they're off track for a couple months. Moducare, or plant sterols and sterolins, helps to feed the immune system to keep it in balance. Probably the most exciting study was the recent one on that aged garlic extract, though, where it really showed improvement in perfusion of oxygen into your muscles, because you got to get that oxygen into the muscles to get rid of the lactic acid that you made from the workout, right? Because then you make more lactic acid when you haven't worked out in a while.
Yeah. All right. There are some things that are better before you work out, some things that are great after you work out. Some pre-workout nutrients include beet juice.
Yeah, beet juice is great because it raises your nitric oxide level. That's going to make your blood vessels expand more, so your circulation is going to be better. You'll get over your soreness quicker. You know, the other one that's interesting, they're finding out drinking a cup of coffee before you work out.
That is
also
crazy.
Really actually good.
Yeah, because we
crazy,
were told,
right?
Yeah, because we were told, like, so be careful on coffee, whatever. But it can cut the soreness by a dramatic amount.
Yeah, almost 50%, 48% reduction in delayed onset muscle soreness, known as DOMS. And so, but not a bucket of coffee, not a triple latte with a bunch of sugar drizzled on top. I'm not talking about that. Just the same simple caffeine intake from a cup of coffee or a cup of green tea is going to really help out that recovery. And you got to remember, you've got to hydrate. I find so many people that we work with that they're not hydrated. They don't drink enough water. They don't have the electrolytes they need. They're sweating their tail off, but they're not replacing their magnesium, potassium. And then remember the foam rollers. You know, warm up before, just like you mentioned. That was a really good thing for people to remember. Warm your muscles up before you decide to start exercising. And then when you're cooling them down, do the same. You could get a massage. You could use one of the massage therapy guns. But you got to get moving. No matter what in the new year, if you can't do an hour, do 30 minutes. If you can't do 30 minutes, do 15 minutes. But get moving as a part of your daily habit.
Yeah. Now, okay, back to the coffee for a second. I've got one right now, and it's got a little something extra.
Oh, there you go.
Wait, what was that extra that I have in the coffee right here? Maybe not with that, right?
Depends what's in there. I don't know. You had that restaurant on there before. You had the mixologist there. Who knows what's in there? That's where it's from.
All right. Okay. Let me ask you this, because I think this is also a part where people get confused. And it's like when you start out lifting weights, how heavy should it be, and how many reps? Because that gets confusing for a lot of people.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. You know, when I talk to my lead performance trainers within Lifetime, and it really, you want to strengthen and condition your tendons and ligaments more. So that would be lighter weight, more reps. And then if you go and get a solid trainer, you know, look for somebody local that can help guide you on an opening program to get you started managing your soreness. Why that's important is find someone who's appropriate for your age. I'm in my 60s. If I go to somebody that tries to put me on an exercise program as if I was in my 20s when I was training really hard and competing, that's a whole different world, right? So it's getting good advice, probably more reps, lighter weight when you're started, just to kind of get that conditioning of the tendons and ligaments of your body. And then you can progress to progressive weight, which is going to help build muscle. Because remember, muscle is the currency of aging. The more we hold on to our muscle as we age, the healthier we're going to be.
Yeah, and also it can keep you off a walker because you have more support, and you remain more mobile. Okay, when it comes to getting sore, so as we mentioned earlier, knowing that you worked out a couple of days later is not the problem. It's when you can't move that's the problem. But when you no longer get sore in your workout, is that the sign that maybe you should elevate the reps or elevate the weight?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're feeling like, hey, this workout's really easy, I would challenge myself a little bit more, feel something a little bit, and at the same time, don't do things that are risky. You know, make sure that you're going through the ranges of motion that your body can handle. Everybody's got different flexibility points. Right. So, it's all those aspects to it that are important as well.
All right, Jim, most people would wave goodbye. I'm going to do goodbye like this. Here you go. Can you see it there? There it is right there. You see it?
I got it.
All right. My bicep is waving at you. All right. Thank you so much for the information.
Oh, it was a pleasure being on. Have a great day.
You too. All right. To find out more about Jim LaValle and his tips on a good, healthy workout and muscle recovery, visit greatdayhouston.com.
Houston weather.